A warm welcome, everybody. I'm Siddharth. So today, the world may know India has the third largest economy in world, with 1 million people entering the workforce every year for the next 2 decades, or perhaps as the first nation to successfully enter Mars orbit on the first attempt. I am proud to know India as my home. I am proud to know India as my home. Even after beginning a promising international career that enabled me to travel the world. After 8 years as a non resident, I came home armed only with the nation, with the notion of serving my nation and seeking to inspire. Nearly a decade has passed since that time. As a country with one of the world's youngest populations, I believe this is quite possibly the most exciting time in our history as many strive to realize their full potential. I aim to join my peers in advancing the growth of my country as well as the personal and professional growth of my peers who call India home. I have partnered with a variety of Indian organizations from educational institutes to small enterprises and startups to large multinational corporations for the corporate events. I have been a keynote speaker in India and the SAARC countries, in addition to the Middle East and the Asia Pacific. When you invite me to speak at an event or conduct a workshop in India, you invite me to open a dialogue with my peers. My knowledge of the challenges that face India doesn't come from a book, nor my observations as an outsider, but rather first hand experience of my own culture. My time spent with diverse international audiences gives me the unique ability to view that culture in a new light. Let's move forward together. India has been my teacher from the time of my youth to my years spent in international business to my return, inspired by the lessons of my homeland. A tailor programs that leave lasting impressions on my audience. Yes, I want to become a better leader and I can relate to the everyday struggles throughout organizations in India because I have experienced them myself. I am proud to be a part of this culture and I am honored to spend my career helping my peers turn find solutions to challenges. Every day in India, I watch raw energy transform into progress. My workshops, speeches, and custom programs spur both young and seasoned professionals to tune into their talents and develop the drive of a true entrepreneur. With every experience comes the opportunity to evolve inspired by many with whom I have partnered across continents. I draw on my international experience to bring a lend a new perspective to challenges that are uniquely Indian, where newcomers to India may see chaos. I see a hopeful frenzy of growth and life. I empower my audience, see the opportunities that come from hard work and let enthusiasm guide their personal and professional growth. India sparked my decision to set out on a risky entrepreneur, entrepreneurial journey, and I haven't looked back since. I designed programs that enables others to embrace their inner strengths and lead purpose driven lives. A country with one of the world's youngest populations is a country brimming with potential. My programs encourage youth to believe in the power of their dreams and get in touch with their true and powerful selves. I believe that taking time to enjoy each step on the road to progress makes success come a little faster. Each of my programs release on high energy interactions that excite audience and leave a lasting impression. In India, we celebrate what makes us similar as we aim to celebrate diversity. I tailor each of my programs to best meet the objectives of the audience in front of me. Right? I get to know my audience, their challenges, and their goals, and tailor each of my programs with them in mind. I create keynotes and workshops that spur business growth, inspire youth to tune into their inner selves, and more. Now, I like to now bring few things before you. Nothing is more powerful than the power of words, especially if the words come from someone who admire and look up to. We meet, watch, hear many leaders every day. Some we agree with and some we don't. But there are those who leave a great impact on the lives of millions of people around them. They change the fate of the country and they bring a change which once looked like a dream. Yes, this is the power of words. When spoken, everyone listens. Here is a list of some great speeches by Indians that brought the nation together. The crisis of civilization, the Rabindranath Tagore. This speech by Tagore at Shantiniketan in 1941 was his last speech. Tagore had been unwell for some time, yet his words were very moving. So, as I look around, I see crumbling ruins of a proud civilization, strand like a vast heap of futility. And yet I shall not commit the grievous sin of losing faith in man. I would rather look forward to the opening of a new chapter in his history after the catalysis is over and the atmosphere rendered clean with the spirit of service and sacrifice. Perhaps the dawn will come from his origin, from the east, where the sun rises. A day will come when unvanquished man will retrace his path of conquest despite all barriers to win back his lost human heritage. Address at the World Parliament of Religions, Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda's speech at the World Parliament of Religion in Chicago, in which he introduced Hinduism to North America, became historical. Expert. Do I wish that the Christian would become Hindu? God forbid. Do I wish that the Hindu or Buddhist would become Christian. God forbid. The seed is put in the ground, the seed is put in the ground, and earth and air and water are placed around it. Does the seed become the earth, or the air, or the water? No, it becomes a plant. It develops after the law of its own growth, assimilates the air, the earth, and the water, converts them into plant substance, and grows into a plant. Similar is the case with religion. The Christian is not to become a Hindu or a Buddhist, nor a Hindu or a Buddhist to become a Christian, but each must assimilate the spirit of the others and yet preserve his individuality and grow according to his own law of growth. So wonderful. Tryst with destiny, Jawaharlal Nehru. Nehru had always been one of those leaders who influenced masses with his speeches. The Tryst with Destiny speech was delivered by Nehru on the eve of India's independence towards midnight on 14th August 1947. And it spoke about the 100-year struggle against the British Empire in India. Long years ago, we made a tryst with the destiny, and now the time comes when we shall redeem our pledge, not only or in full measure, but very substantially at the stroke of the midnight hour. When the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom. A moment comes, which comes but rarely in history, when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends, and when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance. It is fitting that at this solemn moment we take the pledge of dedication to the service of India and her people, and to the still larger cause of humanity. Freedom is my birthright, Bala Gangadhar Tilak. When Tilak came out of prison after serving a sentence of 6 years, he gave a speech to revive the spirit of nationalism, and his powerful words became very important in the national movement. Freedom is my birthright. So long as it is awake within me, I am not old. No weapon can cut this spirit. No weapon cut this spirit. No fire can burn it. No water can wet it. No wind can dry it. Wonderful statement. Wonderful words. Freedom is my birthright. So long as it is awake within me, I am not old. No weapon can cut this spirit. No fire can burn it. No water can wet it. No wind can dry it. Fit India speech, Mahatma Gandhi. The speech delivered by Gandhi on August 8, 1942, addressed the AICC at Mumbai on the eve of Fit India movement. Is considered one of his best speeches. Here is a mantra, a short one that I give you. You may imprint it on your hearts and let every breath of yours give expression to it. The mantra is do or die. We shall either free India, we shall either free India or die in the attempt. We shall not live to see the perpetuation of our slavery. Every true congressman or woman will join the struggle with an inflexible determination not to remain alive, to see the country in bondage and slavery. Let that be your pledge. Wonderful words. Give me blood and I will give you freedom. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Give me blood and I will give you freedom. Give me blood, 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 I will give you freedom. These words became the anthem for the youth during India's struggle for independence. Unlike Mahatma Gandhi, who believed in non-violence, both had different ideas of freeing India from the British. The speech became historical and inspired the youth of India at large. He also formed Azad Hindu Army to fight for freedom. And we would have but one desire today, the desire to die so that India may, India may live. The desire to face a martyr's death so that the path to freedom may be paved with the martyr's blood. Friends, my comrades in the war of liberation today, I demand of you one thing above all. I demand of you blood. It is blood alone that can avenge the blood that the enemy has spilt. It is blood alone that can pay the price of freedom. Give me blood, and I promise you freedom. The wonderful words delivered from Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Next one. Longest speech, the United Nations by Indian delegate V.K. Krishna Menon, an Indian nationalist, diplomat, and statesman, delivered an unprecedented 8-hour speech defending India's stand on Kashmir. To date, the speech delivered on January 23rd, 1957 is the longest ever delivered in the United Nations Security Council. Why is that we have never heard voices in connection with the freedom of people under the suppression and tyranny of Pakistani authorities on the other side of the ceasefire line? Why is it that we have not heard here that in 10 years these people have not seen a ballot paper? With what voice can either the Security Council or anyone coming before it demand a plebiscite for a people on our side who exercise franchise, who have freedom of speech, who function under 100 local bodies? Narayana Murthy speech. The speech by Narayana Murthy at Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management on the role of Western values in contemporary Indian society is one of his most powerful speeches of all times. Most of our behavior comes from greed, lack of self confidence, lack of confidence in the nation, and a lack of respect for the society. To borrow Gandhi words, there is enough in this world for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. Let us work towards a society where we would do unto others what we would have others do unto us. Let us all be responsible citizens who make our country a great place to live. Right? Most of our behavior comes from greed, lack of self confidence, lack of confidence. Atal Bihari Vajpayee speech. Vajpayee is one of the India's most loved politicians. His simplicity inspired everyone. Yes. A leader and a poet, Vajpayee always mesmerized people whenever he spoke. His speech about Indo-US relationship at the joint meeting of Congress, US House of Chamber was one such instance where he captured everyone's heart. American people have shown that democracy and individual liberty provide the conditions in which knowledge progress, science discovers, innovation occurs, enterprise thrives, and ultimately people advance. More than a million and half from my country, America is now home. In turn, their industry, enterprise, and skills are contributive to the advancement of the American society. I see the outstanding success of Indian community in America and the potential in Indo-US relations of what we can achieve together. Go, kiss the world, Subrato Bagchi, the co-founder of Mindtree. Bagchi addressed the class of 2006 at IIM Bangalore on defining success 2 years back at the age of 82. Mother had paralytic stroke and was lying in a government hospital in Bhubaneswar. I flew down from the US where I was serving my second stint to see her. I spent 2 weeks with her in the hospital as she remained in a paralytic state. She was neither getting better nor moving on. She was neither getting better nor moving on. Eventually, I had to return to work. While leaving her behind, I kissed her face in that paralytic state and a garbled voice. She said, "Why are you kissing me? Go, kiss the world." Success to me is about vision. It is the ability to rise above the immediacy of pain. It is about imagination. It is about sensitivity to small people. It is about building inclusion. It is about connectedness to a larger world existence. It is about personal tenacity. It is about giving back more to life than you take out of it. It is about creating extraordinary success with ordinary lives. Wonderful. Kiran Bedi's speech on visionary leadership. The speech by Kiran Bedi, India's first woman IPS officer, and visionary leadership at TED Women was indeed inspired and worth listening to more that once. When I was born, 50s and 60s did not belong to girls in India. They belonged to boys who would join business and inherit business from parents, and girls would be dolled up to get married. My family was unique. We were four of us, all girls, and fortunately no boys. My father defined his own grandfather almost to the point of inheritance because he decided to educate all four of us. He sent us to one of the best schools in the city and gave us the best education. Sachin Tendulkar farewell speech. When the god of cricket bid farewell to the game, lakhs of people gathered to witness the moment. The speech left everyone emotional and gave a glimpse of his very successful career as one of the greatest batsmen of all times. I know I have met so many guys who have fasted for me, prayed for me, done so much for me. Without that, life wouldn't have been like this for me. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and also say that time has flown by rather quickly, but the memories you have left with me will always be with me forever and ever. I would like to read out one more time. Wonderful words. I want to thank you from my bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my heart, and also say that time has flown by rather quickly, but the memories you have left with me will always be with me forever and ever. I have a dream, Rahul Bose. Rahul Bose is known for his conventional approach to things, be it his movies or the various causes he associates himself with. His speech as a keynote speaker at the annual event at BITS Pilani inspired each one of those present there. Here is I have a dream that our new generation of political leaders would look beyond their party lines and do what very few leaders in India have done their duty. I have a dream that one day, the next time, when women are trusted anywhere in a pub, India, the entire country's women will march off to Mangalore, stopping the entire city for months, and the other half to the Prime Minister house, stopping the governments for months. My vision for India, Abdul Kalam. Abdul Kalam delivered one of his best speeches at Indian Institute of Technology, Hyderabad, where he outlined his visions for India. Why is the media here so negative? Why are we in India so embarrassed to recognize our own strengths, our achievements? We are such a great nation. We have so many amazing success stories, but we refuse to acknowledge them. Why? We are the first in milk production. We are number one in remote sensing satellites. We are the second largest producer of wheat. We are the second largest producer of rice. Look at Dr. Sudarshan. He has transformed the tribal village into a self sustaining, self driving unit. There are millions of such achievements, but our media is only obsessed in the bad news and failures and disasters. You say that our government is insufficient. You say that our laws are too old. You say and say and say. What do you do about it? Ask what we can do for India and do what has to be done to make India what America and other Western countries are today. Sure, we sure are surprised. We hope that these leaders and change makers have given you a huge dose of motivation to go and make the difference you want to see in this nation. And Mahatma Gandhi, the story of experiments with the truth. Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi has always been a very prominent figure in Indian history. From his unbeatable spirit to inspiring courage, from various controversies to his life as the father of the nation, Gandhi has always been an interesting, inspiring, and impressive personality to read about. If you want to know all about Gandhi and his journey, You cannot miss out on reading My Experiments with the Truth. Is autography that covers his life from early childhood till 1921. The introduction mentions how Gandhi resumed writing at the insistence of a fellow prisoner at a Yerwada Central Jail. The autobiography was written as weekly journals and then compiled and published as a book. From his childhood memories, his experiments with eating meat, smoking, drinking, and stealing to the demise of his father, the book captures many unknown instances of Gandhi's life. R.K. Narayana, The Guide. Ja. R.K. Narayana is the best known for stories based in and around the fictional village of Malgudi. The Guide is yet another story set up in Malgudi. R.K. Narayana won the Sahitya Akademi Award for the book in 1960. The Guide is the story of a tour guide who transforms himself into a spiritual guru and then the greatest holy man of India. The book was also adapted as a film which starred the legendary actor Dev Anand and Salman Rushdie, Midnight Children. Midnight Children portrays the journey of India from British rule to independence and then partition. The book received a great response, winning the Booker Prize in 1981 and the Booker of Booker's Prize, commemorating the best among all the Booker's winner twice in 1993 and 2008. The book travels to various parts of the country, including Kashmir, Agra, and Mumbai, and incorporates many actual historic events. The book was also included in the list of 100 best novels of all time. Jhumpa Lahari, The Interpreters of Maladies. This is a collection of nine stories by Lahiri. The stories are based on lives of Indians and Indian Americans who are lost between the two cultures. The book was published in 1999 and won the Pulitzer Prize for fiction and the Hemingway Foundation Pen Award in the year 2000 and has sold over 15 million copies worldwide. Vikram Seth, A Suitable Buy, published in 1993. This 1349 pages long book is one of the longest novels ever published in a single volume in the English language. The story focuses on India post partitions as a family looks for a sustainable buy to marry their daughter. Seth's follow up book, A Suitable Girls, is expected to be released in 2006. Yeah. Thank you, Vijay. And these are the main issues for the motivation purpose. I have read all the things which will be helpful. So whenever you have free time, please read these motivational people's speeches so that you will be, I can say self motivation is possible and you will be motivated in a self manner. So no need to prepare on anybody, right? Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.